This is the Berman Method Podcast featuring Dr. Jake Berman and physician assistant Jenni Berman. We are here to treat problems and not symptoms. Disclaimer, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and not to treat anyone or to give medical advice. If you are interested in any information that we are giving and would like to use this for yourself, we recommend that you contact your primary care physician or reach out to us and ask us questions about yourself specifically. Enjoy.
And we're back. Here we go. Look at those octaves, baby. Wasn't that fun?
Yeah.
Press rewind and go listen to that one again. That was beautiful. Pitch perfect 4. Here I come.
Pitch perfect. Cool. Hi, everybody.
The Berman Method Podcast. Dr. Jake Berman here.
Jenni Berman, physician assistant.
JBB.
I thought you were going to introduce me.
Jenni Bear Berman, for those that really know her.
We are treating problems and not symptoms.
Keep going. Tell me more.
David against Goliath.
Tell me more.
Helping your body move better and keep you off pain meds. Heal your insides and get you off medications.
Yep. So upstairs, you guys focus on healing your insides to get you off needless medications.
Correct.
Downstairs, we help you move better so you can avoid surgery and pain pills.
Correct.
And then in the golf room, we
help you move better to hit the ball farther.
Yeah. So pretty simple. We're just trying to get things as simple as possible so you guys know exactly what you're signing up for with us. David against Goliath, corporate medical system, big pharma.
And then the Bermans.
And then the Bermans. One person at a time. You know what's great about this podcast is with all the traction that it's picking up, we're getting national notoriety. Maybe that's not the right way to say it. People are finding us organically, nationally.
Correct.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So over the past couple of months, I've had quite a few people from around the country reach out for physical therapy type things.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's like, this is new to me. It has not happened prior to this. I mean, we only had some local people that have found us from the podcast, but not really a national finding. People that are finding us organically, meaning that they're just going into Apple Podcasts and searching knee pain, and we're popping up, and it's been fun.
It's pretty cool. And our practices work virtually, so that's even better.
Yeah, even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we want to talk a little bit about the upcoming flu season. Oh, wait, is there already flu season?
Well, I mean, September technically is when flu shots come out to prepare for the upcoming flu season.
Yes, flu shots. I love it when this topic comes up because Jake and Jenni, we're not 100% on the same page when it comes to these vaccines and injections. And I never warned Jenni that we're going to have a really true, raw conversation about it in front of thousands of people on the podcast. So yeah, September, the flu vaccines start coming out for a version or a variation of the flu that might be floating around in the air.
A strain.
Yes. That might be floating around in the air.
Yes.
Jenni's giving me this look right now where she is not happy with my tonality on this.
It's not funny. This is a serious conversation.
It is serious. So let's get into the nuts and bolts of it. We have this flu season that comes around every single year at the same exact time. And what would you say is the general beginning and end time of flu season?
Symptomatically, where we actually obtain the flu virus, most commonly November to February.
November to February is the most common acquisition of the flu virus.
Correct.
Okay. So,
in my opinion,
in your opinion, in Western medicine's opinion, and most importantly, in Big Pharma's opinion, the best thing that you could do is take a vaccine, a flu vaccine.
Wait, that didn't sound right, because you said in my opinion and then went into all those other opinions that the flu vaccine is the best thing you can do. That's not my opinion. My opinion was that flu is most prevalent November to February. In that sentence. Okay. Now the next sentence was Western medicine, Big Pharma think that the best thing you could do to prevent the flu is to get the flu vaccine.
Love it. Good correction. Thank you for, I thought I put the period in there, but I didn't. You're absolutely correct. That's what I meant.
So as far as Jenni, yes, because you say we differ on vaccines. Yes, I generally recommend the flu vaccine to the general population, but I do not think that that is the best way to prevent getting the flu.
Right. And the number one goal of this podcast is not to argue, should you or should you not get a vaccine for the flu? What this is trying to shed light on is how coincidentally the time frame that the flu is most rampant is November through February, and it just so happens to correlate with a candy holiday,
Halloween,
a pie holiday,
Thanksgiving,
a cookie and booze holiday,
Christmas or Hanukkah,
with a grand finale of a boozy booze weekend.
New Year's weekend.
Right. So we've got 4 solid holidays right in a row, all in a very short time span.
That have one thing in common.
What is that?
Sugar.
All 4 of those holidays, the one thing they have in common is sugar. And not just a little bit of sugar, a lot of bit of sugar. And it's not just in one setting, right? Because Halloween, there's Halloween candy a week before Halloween and 2 to 3 weeks after Halloween.
A month after, yeah.
Right? Thanksgiving, it's not just Thursday. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Usually a week, right? Christmas is the best. The whole month of December, let's make Christmas cookies.
Let's go to this Christmas party. Let's go to that Christmas party.
Yeah. So let's go get some drinks and have some Christmas cookies for the whole entire month of December. And then you get 3 days off. Then it's time to start preparing for New Year's Eve.
Right. And combine this with the conversation we had last week on the podcast, which if you didn't listen to it, you definitely should go back and listen to that episode. But combine this with being less accountable to your activity, less accountable to a clean eating meal plan, less accountable to your physical therapy appointments because family's in town and you have this party and you're traveling and you have to do that. So now tons and tons of sugar for the last October, November, December, 3 months. Well, I guess 2 full months, right? Because October's at the end of Halloween's at the end of October. So 2.5 months, we'll say, a ton of sugar for the last 2.5 months, alcohol, which is inflammatory for besides the reasons of the sugar, but it's full sugar too, and being less accountable to other aspects that are positive in your lifestyle.
Exactly. So,
and then we get sick and we wonder why.
Exactly.
But it's just a virus.
It's not my fault because there's a virus rolling around. Right? So I got sick. It has nothing to do with all of the shit that I've been eating and drinking for the past 2 months. Has nothing to do with the fact that my physical activity has fallen off a cliff and it's maybe at best 25% of what it was the rest of the year. Has nothing to do with that. Has everything to do with this little scary virus that's floating around in the air because it's flu season.
Right. Or your back gives out mid-December because you've just been doing so much and moving things around and getting your house prepared for these Christmas parties and carrying all the heavy things, getting things out of the attic for Christmas decorations, and your back gives out. Your back probably didn't give out because of carrying that box. It gave out because your immune system has been compromised. You haven't been accountable to your physical activity or your physical therapy appointments. You haven't been active, and you're at a chronic state of inflammation because of a ton of sugar. So now your back gave out.
That's a big one right there that I don't think many people really understand the impact of it. Where, yeah, you're eating cookies and it's bad for your blood sugar and it might make you gain some weight, but it's causing a constant state of inflammation inside your body, which means that when you do strain a muscle, it is augmented and exponentially worse pain-wise, because of the added state of inflammation that was already there.
Right. Inflammation is systemic, meaning head to toe, inside to outside. Inflammation doesn't go to one spot. It doesn't go to just your knee joint. It doesn't go just to your intestines. It doesn't go just to your skin and cause your eczema. So you go through this holiday season and you're like, my eczema is so much worse through this holiday season. It must be the dry air.
Oh,
it must be the cold weather.
Yes.
No, it's the amount of sugar that you're eating, or it's the amount of inflammatory foods, the amount of gluten, the amount of dairy. Butter is dairy, y'all. There's 2 sticks of butter in those batches of cookies that you're making. That is dairy. That's inflammatory, on top of the ice cream and the alcohol. That is also inflammatory. Not dairy, but inflammatory. So when your body is at a chronic state of inflammation, your muscles are going to suffer from that. Your ligaments are going to suffer from that. The cartilage is going to suffer from that. Your pain response is going to be heightened. And so you are at more risk, not only for catching this virus that's going around because your immune system is compromised, but also for having these ailments of your muscles and your back aches and your hip injuries and your eczema flaring and your thyroid going out of whack. Rant over.
We really need to get a video podcast.
I know. We've been saying that for like
3 years
8
now.
months now.
We really need to do that because
Jacob, come over every Monday and record us.
I mean, wow, that was intense if you could have seen it.
Was. But I'm very passionate about this. Like inflammation. And then, the next thing is, okay, you get the flu and you're sick for a week and then you're better. Great. But the inflammation is not gone. Inflammation takes a long time to heal. Think about a sprained ankle. When you sprain your ankle, your ankle is swollen for how long?
3 to 7 days.
Swelling? And so then you can just go back and run and jump on it in 7 days?
No. Okay, so the acute swelling or edema process where there's active swelling occurring, yes.
Okay.
But no, you can't, just because the swelling goes down, you're not going to go run on it again.
Okay, my point. So you get sick and you're sick for 3 to 7 days and then you think you're healed. You're not healed. For a sprained ankle, you sprain your ankle, it is swollen black and blue, you're in a boot.
Oh, we're talking about like a serious sprain.
Yeah, if you have a real sprained ankle, you roll your ankle and it turns black and blue and it swells up. Most of the time you're in a boot for 3 weeks or at least immobilized.
If you don't come see
to
me.
Physical therapy, yes. I
no,
understand.
not physical therapy. If
to
you don't come
Berman
see me.
PT. Can I make my point here? You're in a boot for 3 weeks to allow the inflammation and the swelling to calm down. You get out of the boot, you start physical therapy to re-strengthen the ligaments because now you've just been immobilized for 3 weeks in order to calm down inflammation. You go to physical therapy, you start re-strengthening the ligaments. That takes another 3 weeks. Now we're at 6 weeks before we're even going back to normal activity. If you don't go to burn physical therapy. But the point of this is that the natural process of inflammation can take 6+ weeks to come down. And that's internal. The same thing occurs with your immune system, your gut lining, your skin flares. So this 2 months of sugar and booze and alcohol and not doing your physical therapy and not doing your fitness exercise and not being accountable to your appointments is systemically detrimental. And then start January 1, it's not fixed. It's going to take you till mid-February to get that inflammation back down. And by the way, your metabolism is not going to function efficiently and burn fat when your body's at a chronic state of inflammation. So now January 1, you get back in the gym and you start eating your salads with chicken on it and your chicken and broccoli and think you should lose 5 pounds. It's not going to happen till probably mid-February. And that's if you stay consistent enough for it to happen starting in mid-February. Because it takes time for that inflammation to come back down.
Wow.
So that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the pie and the cookies and the alcohol, because we do. I do.
I definitely do.
Yeah, we do. We eat a piece of candy on Halloween, but it comes down to what we talked about last week is staying consistent, determined, and accountable to your healthy lifestyle, but have one piece of pie and then get back on track the next day with your proteins and your vegetables. Go to the Christmas party and have the hors d'oeuvres, have the alcohol, have the dessert, and then get back on track the next day. Don't just say, I already blew it for the week. I'm good. I'll just keep it going. You got to stay accountable to your own healthy lifestyle. And let us help you to stay accountable to that. Let me give you recipes of your favorite Thanksgiving and Christmas recipes that we can make a little bit more macro-friendly, a little healthier, maybe gluten-free and dairy-free to help with reducing the inflammation.
You guys should really take Jenni up on that one, because I have been the guinea pig over the past 10 years or so on how to make these courses, these meals delicious. And you guys are welcome.
Oh, man, you sound like it was horrible 10 years.
It wasn't horrible. It's just wonderful now.
Yes.
Meaning that it was okay. It was edible back then, but now you can't tell a difference. And if you look at it from a macro standpoint, you make, I don't know, green bean casserole the old-fashioned way versus the way that you can make it. You make mashed potatoes the old-fashioned way versus the way that you can make it. On a macro base, it's ridiculously more healthy to do it Jenni's way, and it's delicious now. So when we're talking about gluten-free and dairy-free, 5 years ago, I don't know that I would be necessarily agreeing with Jenni saying that, yeah, Thanksgiving, we should consider this. However, now the gluten-free, dairy-free options are ridiculously similar to what you're currently used to. So there are many cases nowadays that I will prefer a gluten-free, dairy-free option compared to its counterpart. And I'm not gluten-free or dairy-free by any means, like not even a little bit. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to making decisions at these Christmas parties, I think that's what it comes down to, is making a decision. You could have a gluten-free piece of bread or a gluten piece of bread. They're both a piece of bread.
They're both carbohydrates.
They're both carbohydrates. The gluten-free bread is going to be less inflammatory than the gluten bread for one reason, or at least one reason, because gluten is a sticky protein, right?
Right.
Sticky proteins in your gut linings creates an inflammatory process, and that's the beginning of inflammation. So if you're eating less gluten, less sticky proteins in your gut lining, less inflammation, and you're still achieving the same psychological benefit of a carbohydrate.
Right. And that's not to say that gluten-free bread is low carb, because it's not. It's just less inflammatory.
Yes.
So
another thing before we wrap things up here is just making decisions. So when Halloween candy rolls around, there's so many bad options And there's a couple of good options, or let me say this. There's so many horrible options in that Halloween basket, but there's a couple of options that are just bad. They're not horrible. Which one are you choosing? Right? Because you can look in a bag of Halloween candy, and there's usually at least one that is not near as horrible as the rest of the options. Are you choosing that one, or are you going with the one that you've always eaten your whole life? That's just a decision that you're making.
Well, or another decision, are you taking 3 pieces of the Halloween candy, or are you having 1? Right? So just not depriving yourself, but having some self-control as far as quantity. And if you do have that Halloween piece of candy on Tuesday, Halloween, what are you doing on Wednesday? Are you still eating the Halloween candy, or have you reset yourself and refocused yourself and now you're staying accountable to someone else, not to yourself?
Yeah, and I used to be one of the, I was going to say biggest hypocrites, but I'm really not a hypocrite because I say the truth that I am weak and vulnerable when it comes to quantity, especially when it comes to cookies, especially when it comes to our aunt's cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she'll make me a bag of cookies and that bag will not last through the night.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be gone. And I know what I'm doing and I don't like it. However, the older I get and the more I understand that diabetes and the real damage that you're doing to your body now presents 10, 15 years later with diabetes and prediabetes and all this other stuff. It's not just a light switch. It's what we do in our 30s and 40s, which makes the problem occur. It just helps me make a little bit better decision, meaning that I might do that once or twice a year where I just go hard in the paint and just eat every cookie I possibly can as fast as possible, because I think that if I eat 20 at one time, they cancel each other out and it's all good. But if you look back 5 years ago, at least 10 years ago, that was not a twice a year thing. That was a twice a month thing or
Weekend warrior.
Once a week thing, where I would just eat 20 cookies at once within 5 minutes and not think anything of it because you couldn't see it. You know, my metabolism just got rid of it and you couldn't tell that I just ate 20 cookies, and I don't do it anymore. I'm just making better decisions, or at least I'm trying to get better. Every single option or opportunity that I have, I'm trying to make better decisions because you're helping hold me accountable.
Right. When I'm in town.
Well,
we're working on it.
Yeah, at least I tell you, though.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're going to start scheduling you for weekly visits in the office, too.
Oh, boy.
Just like I am downstairs.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
So the point of all this was to say flu season is approaching. You know, yes, there's that flu virus. But what are you doing for your immune system? Are you making your immune system more vulnerable? Are you breaking down the immune system? Are you wearing it out by the amount of sugar that is circulating in your system, by the amount of inflammation that's circulating in your system? Or are you doing everything in your power to continue this healthy lifestyle, living the balance, quote unquote balance, so that you can have go to these parties, have the extras, but are getting yourself back on track to try to keep the immune system as healthy as possible through this part of the year?
Yes. So said in summary, the big pharmaceutical companies want you to believe that it's flu season, when actuality, you are overdosing on sugar. The worst possible thing that you can be putting into your body. We overload on it for 2 months straight, get sick, and blame it on the flu virus. Make a better decision this year, right? Think about that one.
Correct.
Share this episode with somebody else that is hell-bent on getting their flu vaccines and blaming it on the flu virus and, I'm going to be sick for a week, puking and whatever else. I won't be in for a week because I got the flu. F that stuff. I mean, come on. Do something better for your immune system. Get the vaccine if you want. I'm not saying get it or not get it. What I'm saying is give yourself a chance, right? Give yourself a chance at a better outcome holistically. Do the right thing.
Yes. By the way, just a quick announcement. We got a new brand of protein powder in the office, and it is delicious. True Supplements protein and Truvani protein. Truvani is the newest one. True Supplements we've had in and out for a little bit now, but are carrying it more consistently. But Truvani, no sugar, no added sugar into the protein powder, whereas a lot of protein powders have sucralose, which is a sugar alcohol. This Truvani does not, so it is completely sugar-free. Now carrying it in the office. Come by. We have sample sizes of it, so come by and try it out.
How does it taste good if there's no sugar?
It's delicious.
How?
I don't. They're magic, but it really doesn't have any added sugar in it. But Truvani's magic. Tastes good, plant-based. So come try a sample pack.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening to us rant.
Ciao for now.
Till next time.
Thank you for subscribing on your social media and podcast platforms to the Berman Method. Dr. Jake Berman with Berman Physical Therapy and Jenni Berman, Physician Assistant with Berman Health and Wellness. You can find more information on our website, www.bermanpt.com for physical therapy, bermanpt.com/wellness for the health and wellness. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and on your podcast platform. So be sure to follow us, like us, subscribe to us. And if you would like any further information, definitely visit our website and reach out to us. You may also find our free reports on the websites as well, where you can download this free information for yourself. Have a great day.